We know the cavalry is not coming.
The cavalry is not coming.
We know we're lost in a sea of, at this point, probably millions of filmmakers. Shit. We know gatekeepers will always guard the most valuable resources that we need.
Oh, fuck my ozone.
So what separates filmmakers that make that first feature film to ones that don't? I think one key factor is a sense of urgency. We just had the Berlinale here in Berlin, which you may know is the Berlin International Film Festival, one of the biggest, most prestigious film festivals in the world.
So forth and so on.
During the festival, I attended one of the talks that was called Directors Exchange New Perspectives. It was a discussion featuring the directors that had their work selected for the Perspectives section of the Berlinale. This is a new competitive section of the festival that selects debut feature films. So all these directors had made their first feature film and were having a premiere at the Berlinale.
Not too shabby.
Since I wanted to direct my first feature film, I was like, fucking class, this seemed like the perfect opportunity to get some insight. And I did get a good boost from it, and they talked about some interesting topics like facing self-doubt, but one thing that struck me was that they were all older than me. They're talking about their kids and how they only started making films with any kind of depth once they became parents.
I will kidnap a child.
But this really got to me again. I'm constantly reminded of how I'm too young to be a film director. I've had actors on set tell me they thought I'd be older. I seem to often see people 10 years older than me finally get their big break and direct their first feature film.
Patience, Iago, patience.
It's just kind of a reality of the profession. It usually takes a lot of time to have enough knowledge and experience for people to trust you.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
But I see this and it just fires up my impatience and makes me want to move even faster.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I'm not interested in making a debut feature film in 10 years. I want to be on the path to making it now.
Tick-tock, motherfucker!
And well, this is how I come back to urgency. In all likelihood, there isn't someone sitting at your feet eagerly waiting to finally help you get your film made. That means you have to wake up and get your ass in gear. You have to get your project materials in order. You have to make sure that your script cuts to the core of what you're trying to capture with your film. You have to make sure your pitch deck portrays an undeniable, unrejectable film. You're always going to have to be your biggest champion, so you might as well get used to it now.
Earn it.
I'm also telling you this because urgency is one of the most effective eliminators of procrastination, because urgency makes you want to take action now. You need to find the reasons for why you need to make the film right now and not wait 10 fucking years because maybe you'll get some money for the film then.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
And if you can't think of anything, the need for your current perspective right now might be the most important thing of all. People will tell you, oh, the best of your work will only come once you're older, you have nothing interesting to say when you're young. You think those older people just sat around doing nothing and then suddenly all this inspiration zapped them in the nips and they started producing gold? Get the fuck out of here. They were making shit since day one. If anything, we need more tenacious young voices out there, especially in film directing. This shouldn't just be for young people either. Don't think, oh, I'm a bit old to start making films, so I'll get around to it at some point. The fuck you will. A film isn't gonna fall into your lap. You have to will it into being by making progress. Regardless of your age, if you introduce this urgency, you will make progress. Find external deadlines if you have to. I have a yearly bet with my cinematographer that if we don't do a certain number of projects together each year, I owe him a pizza. And it's not about a fucking pizza. It's because I'm competitive and I like challenges, so I know that little things like that will add to the urgency. Although it would be probably best to use pitching and festival deadlines to create urgency.
It is what it is.
You might find different things that induce this sense of urgency in you. For me, I also feel this urgency when I see what I want and realize how far I am from it. Every time I listen to an interview about a really interesting collaboration between a director and an actor, every time I read about a certain project getting a green light, every time I see new directors getting their break, I'm reminded that in this very moment I'm not doing that, and that I'm obviously not working hard enough toward that goal. This always manages to kickstart me into doing something. By the way, I'm not necessarily saying go shoot your film right now with zero preparation, although that is technically an option, but at least get your shit in order. If you don't have all your materials, get them ready. Script, lookbook, treatment, pitch deck, preliminary cast and crew, budget, finance plan. Just start somewhere and keep moving. If you have your materials, start applying for funding and pitching opportunities. So many film festivals have pitching events you can apply to directly. Oh, they charge an entry fee for the application.
But we need money to buy crack. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get addicted to crack? Did somebody get addicted to crack?
Go pitch, go finance, go talk to people. Who's making shit like your project right now? What kind of companies have a film like yours in their catalogue? Get in touch or get in rooms with people. Producers, actors, crew, production companies, sales companies, post-production houses. Basically, who can you already get interested in supporting your project? And once you have them, get them to sign a letter of intent and start slapping those in the faces of investors. If you don't know where to start, just list everything out and take it one step at a time. Look, I know it sounds like a lot, but that should also create a kind of urgency in you. You can't afford to sit back and watch it all pass you by. If you really want it, you have to get going. Stagnant water goes rotten. You need to be able to adopt the rhythm of a river that's constantly flowing, and eventually you'll reach the sea. Now get the fuck out of here and make your film.
Oh!